Early in the morning.
Yo ho. You heard that?
It actually sounded like you were about to start off into Yo-Ho from Pirates of the Caribbean.
It might be that. It's a TikTok thing. Yo ho.
Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee.
Oh, it's the same thing.
Dee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's Pirates of
It's
the
just like
Caribbean.
the North Sea when it gets all wavy and horrible. Welcome back. We've made it to episode number 69 of Learning the Hard Way. This is a vlog that is an open book look behind the scenes of a small business that we are trying to grow and another small business that is just getting off the ground. And we share everything. This week we're starting new projects. We're giving existing staff opportunities to step up and run some of those projects. Let's get into it.
You're cheeky today, aren't you, Duncan? Bless.
Beautiful, Lev.
Thank you. Getting there. Learned from the best, eh?
Oh, sure about that.
So, we're in Guildford today. Currently continuing the slabbing. So far we've done the right side of the house, and then we're going to go along the front of the house. Well, yeah, along the back of the house actually. We'll measure the slab, then cut the slab into size, and then we turn it over, put some slurry on the back of it, and whilst that's happening, usually me, is knocking up a mix around the front of the house. And then, yeah, bring the mix round, lay out the mix, make sure it's a good height so we're not faffing around trying to get the slab, we're not having to take the slab out again if the mix is too high. And then, yeah, get the slab down, hit it in with a rubber mallet, bish bash bosh.
So today's the day that we're starting a new project. It's very local to us and it's pretty straightforward. So we saw it as a great opportunity to let a younger member of the team step up and have a go at running his first project. Matt's over there now getting them started. Let's see how they're getting on.
Right, yeah, so scope of the job is the client can't really use the driveway as they would like to. They park two cars at the end, but can't really turn a car around there, so they're having to reverse down the driveway and into here, which isn't ideal. And also for deliveries as well.
Yeah.
So what they'd like, effectively, is a bit more driveway space. This area here is effectively going to become driveway, so left side of the red line. This is going to stay as grass, so all the turf all the way around here is going to be stripped. You're going to remove the granite sets that curve round up to the house.
Yeah.
They need to be like cleaned up, kept to one side, they're going to be reused. There's a bed starting from the corner of the brickwork there.
Yeah.
So yeah, huge roundabout effectively, so they can drive in, park up comfortably, come
Drive
out.
back
Same
out.
for deliveries as well. This is getting wet, but this is approximate schedule of works. So it's sort of 4 days for each section of it.
Yeah.
So 2 days for two of you for each section.
Cool.
And then on the other side is your bill of quantities, so that's what materials we've allowed for it.
Nice.
Try and keep that dry. On the back of that as well is your progress and development agreement.
Oh,
so
thank you.
in your own time, have a look at that, let me know what you think of it. And that's sort of it really.
Cool.
Any questions?
No, that's all right.
Yeah, I mean, giving you like sort of schedule of works and bill of quantities so that you can kind of be as sort of self-sufficient as you guys can with this. Sort of an opportunity for you guys to prove yourselves and show us what you can do. I'm obviously here if you need me, but want to try and take a little bit of a step back and leave you guys to...
Hello, morning.
Morning, this is Ray. Ray, this is Jack.
Hi, Jack, nice to meet you.
Charlie.
Jack.
Charlie.
Charlie.
And this is Will.
You got? Right, Will, nice to meet you. How you doing? Didn't say I was big.
We are in Loxwood. We've got a new job starting. It's just me and young Charles Dickens over here. So, yeah, interesting developments at Hardwood. Big boys on a big job. Well, little
Growing
job,
up.
little job, but big boys either way. Very big boys. Even the client said how big we are.
Massive.
So the plan is basically to strip some turf, lay some granite sets in, just to sort of extend their driveway, bit of bed prep, nothing too major. We've got it in the bag, haven't we, Charles?
Sure do.
That's it. It's the fighting spirit.
Oh.
It's a quick little turnaround one, so shouldn't be too much of a drama. And yeah, we're here, we're ready, we're cracking on.
We're here.
We out here. So yeah, just stripping turf, getting levels right, moving shrubberies and whatnot. Yeah, just getting a general idea of exactly what it is we're doing, and yeah, sort of making some shapes, busting some grooves, hitting some
Dudes. I'm just happy to be here. Just happy to be here.
It's the levels now. There we go.
Happy Wednesday. First day vlogging for me. Over the weekend, just say I got a little bit too close to something I shouldn't have, so nursing a few little injuries. They've all gone down quite a lot now, so hopefully people don't mind them being on camera. A little bit conscious of how it looks, and my beard, all that hard work is gone, so I'm back to being patchy, sort of torn. Whether it should come off or I should try again, we'll see. But it feels good to be back out and about. It's the first day I've sort of ventured out, and here comes our good friends Berry Hill. What fantastic timing, look at that. Perfect, right on cue. So we're at the pub, we're at a local. I'll fill you in with what we're doing shortly, but it is some maintenance work. This is the pub that is literally just down the road from my yard. We've done a lovely little planting display area at the front. That was a lovely agreement with the landowner. We got to put some signs up, and they got a lovely space that we now look after for them as well. That has since sort of spiralled, as sort of hoped and expected it would, into some routine maintenance here. That is starting with just a bit of a hit to clear a lot of the overgrown beds so the pub can enjoy them for this summer. We're then introducing a plan over the winter to actually start regenerating some of the areas. So this is the first paid for hit. We're gonna wander through the garden now and see how the guys are getting on.
As you know, we did some work at the front of the pub, working on the boys rebuilt the front bed, and I then replanted it afterwards. So the pub's actually asked us to have a little play at the back of the pub. As you can see by these beds, they're a mess, a real mess. And the reality is they're full of weeds. The soil is dead with no organic matter. It can't look after itself, which is why the nice plants are struggling, the weeds are thriving, including the mare's tail. So what we're doing at the moment is just a couple of days just renovating, clearing stuff out. And once we've cleared as much weeds as we can, we're going to mulch everything to reinvigorate the soil a little bit, making maintenance of this place somewhat better. Then over time, some replanting, making it look really good, because obviously as it's our local, it's really important for us. A, public perception, but also because we'd like to sit in a nice place to have a pint on a Friday.
I've been tasked with pruning the wisteria. It's been neglected for several years and not pruned correctly, and this is not the correct time of year to be pruning it, but needs must. So I'm just going to open up this section here so you can have a view through to the beautiful river the other side. I've been taking out all of the new growth because it's just gone wild, so I've taken it right back. I've taken out a lot of the top. I'm not quite finished this bit here. It was all tangled up the light strings. Unfortunately, I can't reach anything up there on the roof, which is really annoying. You need a, I don't know, cherry picker or something to get up there, but I'm not going up there. I don't think my wife would let me get that high. About 7 years ago, I was at work on a job and I was only 3 runs up on a ladder and I was hedge cutting. And it was storm, I don't know, Pedro was coming through. And I was this high up hedge cutting, and all of a sudden I just hear this snap of an oak tree, and the oak tree just and fell on my head, and knocked me clean out. Yeah. So I suffered with a fractured skull, fractured eye socket, fractured shoulder blade, shoulder, ribs, and sternum. These were all fractured, and arm fractures. And then I was out of hospital for 3 days. Very, very lucky man. Count my blessings now every day, I tell you. But yeah, almost there with this wisteria. Job's looking really good. And that'll be us.
Thank you, Jay and the maintenance team. The pub is looking great, and can't wait to keep slowly adding to that place. The landlord actually said he wants it to be the best garden for a pub in Sussex. So that is the end goal. Obviously appreciate the work that we're doing now isn't going to make it that, but that is the end goal, and we're working through it in realistic phases for the pub's budget and for our capacity, etc. So it's a good project to be a part of. We had an interesting conversation when we first started with an existing gardener there who hadn't been told we'd taken it on. So keep up the communication, people. The garden behind me, so again, I'm able to be here because it's super local and I can squeeze it in, and I'm just trying to get on the roads and clear my head a little bit before I get back in front of a screen. We actually built the garden that is currently being dismantled a few years ago for the previous clients. They were a really, really, really lovely couple. Loved the project. At the time it was one of my favourite because it was a big wildflower meadow, but the new owners who have taken it on, I don't know if they know that it was us that did the work that we're now redoing, because it hasn't been mentioned at all. I haven't actually met the clients. It's all been through Matt. He's met them, managed it, quoted, etc. But he said nowhere in the communication or the setup was it mentioned. So we're sort of just waiting to see if it does come up. I think we'll tell them at the end because it's a little bit funny. And it's a bit of a shame to see it being ripped up, but the usability and functionality of the driveway at the moment means it's drive in, reverse out. It's onto a very narrow road, so these guys want to turn it, understandably, into where you can just drive all the way around. They've only got one car, so they don't need a huge drive. So luckily we're keeping a nice lawned area in the middle and some of the fruit trees that we put in for the existing clients a few years ago now. A lot of these laurels we planted as well when they were tiny, so it's good to see them growing. Hiya, how you doing? Sorry, I'm Ollie, we haven't met. Am I in your way?
No, not at all, Ollie. No. Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And you, just checking on how everybody's getting on.
They've been very good.
Good. That's great to hear.
Extremely industrious.
Good. It's always good when there's a digger on site.
Of course, by a drone.
Yeah.
It always keeps you honest, doesn't it? Having a drone.
Well, it's an angle that you can't escape, the bird's eye view. So if you think you've got a curve good from down here, you send one of those up and suddenly
there's no hiding.
Some tweet, exactly. But yeah, no, good to see it all cracking on. I'm just checking in to see if everyone's got everything they need. Just poking my head in and being nosy, that's all. So, interrupted there, and we have now met the clients, which is always lovely, and as always, very complimentary of the Hardwood team that's here, so fantastic to hear. But what we were talking about is the pain that is getting rid of turf, and it's a pain because it comes naturally as part of digging out for a job. So segregation of waste is becoming more and more important, and for all the right reasons. And actually with the content that we want to be creating for Grab, we're actually going to be doing some content specifically on how you get rid of turf, which is going to be extra interesting, especially as now on all of the Hardwood sites, the 4 Grab lorry companies that we sort of rotate through depending where we are, none of them will take turf now. So we've been looking around from Grab's perspective to find out if we were to pick up turf where we could take it, and options are pretty limited. But don't see it as a problem. We've got some solutions. We're going to be sharing it with everybody. So make sure you follow Grab Trucks on Instagram, because that is an account that we're going to be filling with loads of fun content. We're going to be doing loads of how-tos, which will help any contractors or DIYers that are dealing with anything like this on how to most efficiently and affordably get rid of your waste. It's fantastic getting out onto some sites and checking with the Hardwood guys. It is of course Jack's first project that he's running for us, so fingers crossed it goes well. I'm sure we'll come across a few hurdles, but hopefully, in fact definitely, he knows that we are here, Matt is here to support him with anything he needs, and it couldn't really get more convenient, it being a mile down the road from base. We've had some deliveries this week whilst I have been hiding. This is all the stuff that you need to take into account. So obviously we did the lovely business plan that is still on my board. I keep referring to it. I keep spending more money than I thought I would. Our business loan came in at the beginning of this week and has gone out already, but all spent on good stuff. But this is the sort of thing that's been arriving, and this is what you have to plan because it all takes a couple of weeks to turn up. So on carbon paper, you'll be familiar with this if you get anything delivered, if you're a tradesman, but yeah, it's all branded up nicely. We've got a box full of pads for our deliveries. We are going to be doing aggregate supply as well, not just muck away. And then we have our collection ones. So this is for our so this is for where we pick up muck, and that is for where we deliver aggregates, basically. So 2 different types of pads, because it's got different information on there. Obviously that's got all of our waste carriers, permits, information on there, which is very important. Exciting update with our yard for grab, and we'll go outside because I've got some more stuff to show you. But we've got our op license assigned to 1 yard. And yes, that was amazing that we got that opportunity, and it was good for getting us started, etc. But what it has sort of become and shown itself to be is potentially a little bit limiting in how we can grow there. So felt a little bit like we were stuck there, but glad to say another seed I planted in the head of someone who's been a massive support in all of this is starting to show signs of growing. I had a very exciting phone call last night, trying not to get too excited about it because, as you know, I get a huge amount of no's for every yes that I get, but is a bit of a collaboration on a new yard that they've taken on, and what is a great opportunity for grab. So immediately we can go into screening and processing our waste, and it also means we are building aggregate bays for what we're going to be selling, so both bagged and loosed, which is just a massive accelerator in everything that I'm doing, and just feels like there's a bit of positive momentum at the moment, which there hasn't been in such a long time, and it's incredible. It's, you know, I'm pinching myself a lot at the moment. Other things that we've had delivered, can you tell that I've now got a lorry? I'm shopping at HGV Direct. But this is the sort of stuff I've been stocking. So I know a lot of people who watch these vlogs will either have something to do with a similar sort of business or be interested. If there is anything that you, in your experience with having a truck, have found that is really useful to have in the cab, let us know, drop it in the comments. I'm new and naive to this. If you've made a mistake and you can help us avoid that mistake, let us know what it was. But we've got to go into the truck. We've got a new fire extinguisher because the one that is in there is very out of date. I bought some wheel nuts indicators so we can see, or it just makes the driver's daily checks much easier. So we've got a load of those. We've got a load of new grease. We've got new grease guns. We've got spill kits, similar to the one that you saw at Chelsea Flower Show when we had all that hydraulic oil thrown into our lovely water feature. Means if our grab does that, then we can try and deal with it. We've got a few packs of gloves for the driver when he's greasing up the lorry, etc. We've got new socket sets, an impact wrench. I've got a mechanics trolley here so that we can get under our truck a bit more comfortably, because if we go over to our truck, we have a leak. So the truck is all lovely and clean. I did a very deep clean, I say on it, but also in it, so the cab's nice and clean, and I threw away loads of the old Berry Hill stuff that was in there. I've just got our stuff in there now, but I mean, you can see the nice wet patch under the AdBlue tank. And since Saturday, today being Wednesday, it has been just dripping onto the concrete. So there you go. And it is AdBlue. I found where it's coming from. So when I'm not in white trousers, I'm going to jump onto that mechanics trolley and get underneath there and hopefully do a simple fix. Famous last words. It's probably going to be catastrophic new engine, but no, it'll be fine. Just look at it though, it's amazing. So the only changes that you may well have seen are the operated by Berry Hill. Those logos have gone, and also the silver, so the Fours operator stickers have gone as well, because we are not Fours silver. So I don't want to falsely claim that we are. Berry Hill are, but we are not. So there you go. There you go. We are moving the truck on Friday, which is exciting. So it's going over to the quarry where it is registered on the op license, and then hopefully next week we'll get a couple of days of me running sand in it, just having a bit of a shakedown, knowing exactly how it works. I know I said in the previous vlog that's what I wanted to do this week, but a few things have happened that have meant I haven't been able to. So that is now going to be picked up next week, which I'm looking forward to. tomorrow we have Max, our designer from Chelsea, coming down to the yard, so we're going to catch up with him. He's going to be going over all of those plants that we have been looking after, letting us know what he thinks of those and what he wants, and then we can get rid of the rest or put them in whatever forever home they're going to. The plant trolleys are being picked up tomorrow. We have a new digger that we've bought being delivered tomorrow. I've just paid part of that loan, just paid the deposit and signed the finance agreements for our new JCB telehandler for Grab. So yeah, just can't sit still at the moment, but it's exciting. It is exciting. Good morning, it's Thursday, and before I go to something that actually I think I'm dreading, I am heading to go and get my car cleaned. I just haven't had time to do it myself, and to be totally honest, I'm a little bit embarrassed by the state of the Discovery at the moment. I think it's got bad because, yes, I've been busy, but also I haven't been going out and visiting clients. I will always make sure that if I'm in this or the Land Rover, whatever it is, it's clean before I go there, because I think that first impression with, especially in new clients, is super important, means a lot to me. So it's a value that I want to try and maintain. It also means that when we're telling our staff to clean their vans and look after things a bit better, they can hopefully see me leading from the top, leading by example. So definitely worth doing. It's always good for your headspace as well. I find when things are clean and organised and you walk out to your car and it's looking good, you just feel a little bit better. After that, I am heading to go and meet our new accountants, something that I am dreading. And if you were part of the vlogs earlier on, as in watching them, supporting them, you will know that we've had a pretty turbulent relationship, well documented, with accountants. And it's been really, really frustrating just not being listened to. And the last couple of year ends that we have had to go through with Hardwood have just been sort of quickly tidied up and rushed through without any plan for the following year of what we need to do, when we need to spend money, what quarters we need to spend money, what our cash flow is like. So we just haven't had that plan after doing a year-end submission, which is very important to me. It's something that I want to get back in control of. I say I'm dreading the meeting. It's because a big part of me doesn't really know what to expect because of how our last end of year went and the company that we dealt with, who, yeah, just, it's quite a, yeah, it wasn't a nice experience. We'll move on. I've actually not really got a huge amount of idea what to expect. These new guys seem great, seem very switched on, seem very willing, seem a little bit more creative. And because I now have another trading business with Grab, he's very aware of what we can try and do between the two companies to make sure everything is as streamlined and advantageous as possible. But yeah, we're submitting our end of year accounts on Monday. So this is the last opportunity we have to run through anything that he's sort of flagged, any queries that they've got, things on my director's loan account that we need to decide whether it's the company paying for them or me paying for them. What will largely decide that is previous accountants in, I think, what could only be described as a moment of insanity, set up an intercompany structure between a sole trading entity and Hardwood as a limited company, and that has just overly complicated things to such a horrible extent. It's had some really nasty lasting damage that has just made things really difficult to get back on top of. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of resentment in me for that period, and I would love to move on from it. So yes, I've said I'm dreading it. I'm going to make sure that I leave with as comprehensive understanding as I possibly can to make sure that the decisions I make moving forward are ones that are sensible and well informed, because that's what I owe to my staff, it's what I owe to my clients, it's what I owe to myself as well. You know, I could really do with just not having this constant thing in the back of my mind with, yeah, still some cash flow issues to deal with from times gone by, which decisions were made without us being fully aware on our behalf. Not nice. Anyway, that's a bit of a waffle. Let you know how it all goes. We'll also let you know how the end of year accounts are looking. So they are September 2023 to September 2024. So all time that we have been doing these vlogs. So it should hopefully be interesting to some people, certainly going to be interesting to me. We'll share whatever we can. Obviously anything that is considered oversharing or potentially damaging for the business, I'm not going to tell you, but I will share what I can. Let's see how it goes, and I will catch up with you later and hopefully feeling positive. Those of you who've been here for a little while now, I'm sure you'll remember our Chelsea Flower Show vlogs. Well, Max, the designer from our monument build, has popped over to the yard to pick up some of the plants that are left over from that project and still finding homes.
Hello. How you doing? Good to see you. Max, this is AD, this is our office manager.
AD,
nice to meet you.
And you. Sorry, I'm driving up to a meeting.
No, that's all right. You've been a great help, so it's nice to put a
Yeah, I was just
face to the
being
name.
a person.
Oh wow, this is a nice shaded position.
Yeah, so it's quite good over here. It gets a lot more sun over there, so we set the marquees up just to
Okay, brilliant.
get them covered. Been watering them a bit.
Who's been on watering duty?
Jay and I, mostly.
Yeah, okay. How long is it taking you?
Half an hour or so.
An hour?
Yeah, half an hour to an hour. something
Okay,
like
okay. Are you guys, you're okay doing that?
that. Ideally, not for very long.
Yeah.
The sooner we can kind of get them moved on, the better, really.
Yeah, well, I've got some going, which I can take now, which are going to a client in East Sussex, near Forest Row. But there's only so many that I can take.
I think Ollie's quite keen to get it out of here.
As soon as possible, yeah.
Don't
blame him. Okay, let me go through to see what's left.
Yeah, I'll get you a wheelbarrow.
Okay.
And yeah, you can start picking stuff out. We can get what you want to take immediately out,
Okay.
can't we?
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
Thank you, Matt. Right, so what are we doing here? So the plan for all the plants that are here was that they were going to go to relocation at London Fields Primary School, which they did. But then since visiting last week, I found that it's a very exposed site, gets full sun, it's very dry. Lots of these plants are woodland plants, like lots of shade, and there's also bog plants, so like lots of water. So they just aren't the right plants for that aspect, for that project. So we've left them with plenty of sun-loving plants, but now we just have the job to find out what to do with these guys. Between Hardwood and myself, we are coming up with a solution. But in the meantime, it's basically just lots of watering and keeping them cool.
There's a smile on my face. The accountants meeting went well, and it went well just because it is a straightforward, practical approach to solving a lot of the problems that I wanted solved. So looking forward to giving this new company a go. I say it a little bit tentatively just because we've got through two that have done nothing but actually long-term cause problems for us. So fingers crossed, this is it now. We're going to get back in control. We spoke a lot about company structure as well, and how we structure Hardwood Landscapes and how we structure the company to deliver bigger projects as well. So when that's sort of over the line, we're going to get our year end out of the way first, because that needs to be submitted on Monday so we don't miss the deadline. And then I'll talk about it, because I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's interesting for smaller companies as well. It's very important to de-risk the business as much as possible. You know, we don't want to go and win an amazing £500,000 job and massively leverage ourselves into that project, because that means we've only got one chance, basically. If that one job goes wrong, it could sink the rest of the company. So we'll talk about how we're structuring it. There is going to be a bit of a group structure within Hardwood Landscapes. The maintenance company will likely be separated. We will be introducing an SPV structure, so special purpose vehicles, under the main limited company to deliver our projects within. I'll explain it all in detail. Looking forward to it. Good accountant meeting. And right next to me, I mean, it's not that dramatic, it's pretty small, but packs an Amati punch. So our little Bobcat that we already have at Hardwood is the exact same as this. It's an E10Z. This is being sign written next week. Thank you to Barry from Versatile Equipment who has delivered it for us. Yeah, can't wait to get it stuck in. It doesn't look like this for long. We've chosen 3 different types of buckets to go with it, but it's pretty straightforward. It's a micro digger, but to a business like Hardwood Landscapes, these things are worth their weight in gold. I know the big machines are way more exciting content-wise, but having one of these just full-time on pretty much every single job is incredible. Obviously, there's now a bit of pressure. They're rivaling JCB, so we've got even more merch. Nice caps. I actually think these are slightly better than JCB's, but JCB have ordered me a gilet as well, so we'll see what that's like when it turns up. JCB, of course, have promised a helicopter ride up to their factory, which I'm very excited about. No point pretending I'm not, but what Barry has just invited us on is a factory tour to go and see the Bobcats, and I believe, I can't remember exactly where it said, but I think it's in Prague. So come on guys, keep fighting. I'll let you know who I think the best machine manufacturer is, but you all need to try and impress me first. So yeah, let's keep the competition up. Happy to support it, but what a lovely little machine. So next time you see it will be on hopefully early part of next week when it's being sign written. Lee, our sign writer, is coming down tomorrow morning to have a look at it and measure it all up. Because it's quite small, sign writing a small machine is obviously fairly difficult. You haven't got big panels that you can print logos onto very easily, but I think a productive end to the week. The Hardwood guy, end to the day, sorry, still a day left. Productive end to the day. The Hardwood guys have been great. Matt has gone to see yet another new job. So if you're watching this and thinking about getting us to build your garden, I'd get on it. But yeah, all positive, really. All positive. A lot of work ahead of us, but positive. So it's 6:15 now. I'm going to go put this away and I'll catch up with you on Friday. Good morning, it's Friday. We've made it to the end of the week, which feels great. It is, unfortunately, another month-end squeeze for a small business. Cash flow is tight. It's payroll today. Payroll is also, of course, the largest it's been in a very long time. We've got some fairly chunky payments going out today to the tune of about £30,000. And we are owed in for payments this week was about £35,000 that's overdue. They have all promised payment by the end of the week, and we are currently £10,000 short of where we need to be for payroll. Haven't said that in a long time, but we will be fine. We will make it happen. We will be resourceful. It will be fine. But there you go. Another very open vlog of a small business. It's not fun, and not a whole lot long ago that would have been such a heavy weight on my shoulders that actually it would have meant that I would have struggled to do anything else. It would have just been really overwhelming really, but been through it enough now to know that, as I said, we will be okay. The wheels have got to keep turning though. I'm on my way to go and see a new project that Matt has already been to see, but it's big and it's likely to be 5 years to implement this one. Not 5 years from, as in we're not there for 5 years. It's going to be done in 3 phases over 5 years because of the size of it and the client's availability to the amount of money needed to make it happen. So the meeting today is how we recommend phasing it. So what's going to be the most cost-effective and efficient way of delivering the projects, both for us and for the clients. Obviously, every time we have to pull off site and remobilize, etc., it's additional costs incurred. But we just want to make sure that we are doing it, as I said, as efficiently as we possibly can. I then have to head over to another meeting, another big job. This will be similar in size actually, but done in one hit. So meeting the designer on site and the main contractor on site as well, just to make sure we are all completely clear on where the line between the build contract ends and then our landscaping package starts. We're not working under the main contractor, we're working directly for the client, which is great. But we just need to make sure there are no sort of blurred lines, and we just want to get the relationship right with these builders and make sure both companies can just smash it out and help each other to deliver everything as efficiently and profitably as possible, not just for us, but for the clients as well. I've then got to go back to the yards. I've got a couple of little bits to sort out on our truck before it moves to its first yard tomorrow morning on Saturday, which is also where hopefully the new driver is coming to have a look around it and hopefully shake hands on the deal, on the offer. But I'm meeting our transport manager at the yard, who's also going to be looking over the truck and just making sure all of our paperwork and initial sort of operating is completely in order. We are up to date with all of the checks that the truck needs, the paperwork the truck needs. And yeah, so as soon as we hit the road, we're doing so above board and legally. That's his responsibility as an employed transport manager, so he's just coming down to make sure that that's the case, which is great. It's going to be good to meet him. I haven't actually met him yet. We've obviously spoken a few times over the phone, and he was a recommendation, so that's how we got introduced, and I think that's also why he said yes to working with us. So yeah, it is going to be a busy day, and I just want to leave you with a little bit of food for thought, and potentially if you're a business owner that has any intention or any even remote interest in growing or developing more than just being a one-man band, this is something that you need to do. So, sounds stupid, print off your bank statements and make sure you know to the penny your exact fixed costs associated with delivering your service. Do it, because in the next few vlogs we're going to be breaking down in a lot of detail, and this is after years and years of failing and trying and learning and getting the odd bit right. We're going to be sharing lots of sort of pricing information with you, but that is the first thing to do. So get that number ready, because next time we pick this conversation up in a vlog, hopefully it's going to be a useful exercise, and we're going to talk about lots of our learnings and sort of failings, and hopefully how you can avoid it. Another comment I'll leave you with on that is, how have you picked your day rate? How have you picked what you charge your clients? And if the answer is it's because that's what other people in my area are charging, that's the wrong answer and not good enough. You are doing yourself an injustice. We're going to try and use this channel to start upskilling tradesmen, but business-wise, to make sure that actually when they pick up their tool bag in the morning and head out to site, they are doing so in a way that actually makes sense. Another sort of hard truth is, if you're a sole trader and you're earning sort of 40 to 50k a year, which seems to be a pretty typical earning, you should be earning more than that. Because of everything that you've got to go through, all the sort of risk that you've got to take on, you should be earning more than that. And again, we're going to go through in all the numbers how I think we can help, hopefully, you do so. That is the amount of money that you can earn as a skilled tradesman, full-time employed with somebody. So the long and short of it, yes, I know you might like working for yourself and you might not want a boss, but I think really that's just because you haven't found the right boss or haven't found the right person to work with. But why would you take on all the stress and pressure and risk associated with working for yourself when you can earn the same amount of money doing your 9 to 5 with the safety of employment?
This isn't the best way to sharpen up secateurs, but I just spotted some burrs on it and a little bit of blunting. So before I cut anything, nice and sharp so we get a better cut on the plant. Basic tool maintenance throughout the day, very important. Ready? And human maintenance. sharpen the tools and drink some water, then crack on. Sam, Rob, myself finished off tidying up the back and weeding through and remulching because the soil was just so very, very poor. I'm watering in some of that mulch to get the nutrition to actually filter through into the main surface in preparation that in a couple of weeks' time I'm going to buy some perennial plants and probably a few shrubs as well to get in there just to fill the space now, because actually once we've ripped out all the weeds it's like, oh my god, there's nothing left. But actually once something like that's finished, more important is maintenance and maintaining what we do. You might remember this particular bed, the boys building it up months ago. I planted it over 2 separate visits. But actually once the job is done, in gardens the job is never ever actually done. There's constant maintenance to keep it looking good. Otherwise you spend money on making something look nice and a year later it just looks rubbish because it hasn't been maintained well. So this bit of maintenance is really quite easy. We tend to weed it off each time. We've been keeping up with the watering because they're fresh planting. But also at the moment I'm going around and I'm looking at things like this Guiam here, this Hemerocalis. I'm cutting off all the dead heads, so these are all seed pods that are popping up now. And actually by removing all the seed heads and the old stalks, I'll encourage it to reflower again through the summer. And that is good maintenance.
Good maintenance is what we do. And that's it for another episode of Learning the Hard Way. Thank you very much for watching. As always, underneath this video, make sure you've clicked like, make sure you're subscribed and drop a comment. If you've got any questions about anything that's happened in this video, leave them in the comments and next week we will address them. See you very soon.